And just like that, Ranieri places a bomb and lets the bomb explode. In his press conference, he says, Gasperini will not be the manager this summer. And in a press conference, in what would have been a very important press conference coming towards a very important game that we will analyze tomorrow in the dedicated match preview, Ranieri doesn't focus on the game and he focuses on the manager hunt because, of course, it would have been inevitable for the journalists to ask him all of these questions about Gasperini because he was a strong candidate linked with us, spoke about us in the last 48 hours. Just like that, plot twist, Ranieri changes the cards on the table and says that Gasperini will not be it. And he adds, and he says that no name that came out on the media, no name that has been kind of rumored by the journalists will be the manager this summer. Look, I was hearing the press conference this afternoon and I was having my lunch and I was flabbergasted when Ranieri said these things. Not because I necessarily thought it was going to be Gasperini. I said I would have placed my hand of fire on Gasperini. My hand is burning. I apologize. I would have, based on the last rumors and on the last interviews and on the last everything that came out on the newspapers, I'd have signed my name for Gasperini to become our manager. But apparently it's not going to be him. But it's not this that kind of made me flabbergasted, made me spit the pasta today, made me go, what the hell did he just say? It's the fact that he said that no manager that has been linked with us was the correct manager. Like, no, first of all, this shows me that they've already decided who the manager is, that they've already decided who it is, and that he's already signed his contract. I mean, we'll get on to what he said in this press conference, and we need to try and crack the code. This is a teamwork. We need to try and crack the code. We need to use all the hints that Ranieri kind of threw to us today based on our own knowledge, and we need to come up at the end of this video with a new name to put our hand on fire. So this is the objective of the video. Participate with me. We need to try and crack this code together. Questions in the live chat, interesting thoughts in the live chat. Who can it be? It hasn't been already named. Is Ranieri playing mind games? We'll speak about this in a second. We need to crack the Da Vinci Code. It's the objective of this video. Hit the like, 100 likes, and we'll crack the code. Subscribe and do all of that beauty. We're back this weekend, match preview tomorrow, but we need to focus on this code today. So, looking at what Ranieri says, Ranieri said that it's not going to be Gasperini. And Ranieri said that it's not going to be, like, that out of all the names that the journalists kind of threw onto their pages, they did not get it right. Which, again, I'm like, okay, right, it could be one of these names. It could. He could be playing mind games. For sure, we can't expect Ranieri to go, yes, it's going to be him. So I wouldn't 100% exclude the fact that it is not one of the names that we've already been listed and mentioned, because a lot of names have been listed, a lot of names have been mentioned, and if Ranieri is honest in the fact that it's not one of the names that has been already mentioned by media outlets, then I do ask the question and go, who is it? Because everyone has been named, and I would get a bit worried. If it's not one of the names that we've already read about, I would be a bit worried. So I wouldn't 100% exclude the fact that all of the names that we've heard are out, because he could be playing mind games. I would say that it's not Gasperini. It's not Gasperini. I mean, initially when I listened to his press conference, I was like, right, I still think it's Gasperini. Of course, he's not going to tell you if it's him, but I still think it's him. But then I'm like, no, it's not going to be Gasperini, because number one, why would Ranieri lie? Why would Ranieri lie to the fans? It's disrespectful. Even if it's a matter that the fans should not be interested as of now, why would he lie? Like, why would you say, no, it's not going to be him, when you can easily just avoid the question and make yourself unnoticed? So Gasperini, I would 100% exclude, because he said it's not going to be him. And if it is going to be him, then why would he say it's not going to be him? He can simply avoid the question and kind of answer it in a very ambiguous way. The other names, I mean, again, as I said, he said that it's not already been mentioned, which, again, then getting the piece of paper, the good old piece of paper back, we've heard of so many names. We've heard of, Gasperini we've excluded. Ancelotti, not happening, it's already been mentioned. Montella, not happening, it's already been mentioned. People say Sarri in the live chat. Sarri's already been mentioned. So if Ranieri's being honest, it's not going to be Sarri, it's not going to be Allegri because Allegri's been heavily mentioned. It's not going to be Mancini because Mancini's been heavily mentioned. It's not going to be Farioli because Farioli we've heard about. And Farioli, he's confirmed that it's not going to be him. People say De Rossi coming back. He didn't say it in this press conference, but if you go back to another press conference, I can't remember the game, there is a press conference where Ranieri goes that De Rossi won't come back as of now because he isn't ready. So I would not put De Rossi on the list because, yes, he didn't speak about De Rossi now, but he did mention it in a previous press conference how De Rossi was not going to be back. Look, if we stick with what he's saying, now again, this is he saying the truth? That's the question, of course. If we know that he's saying the truth, then it's not going to be one of these names. We don't 100% know if he's kind of playing that poker game with that poker face. He could have said it's not one of these names, but at the end of the day, it can be one of the names to kind of even further change the cards and leave us with that question. But again, similar discussion, why would he lie? Like, I know, again, I'm not expecting Ranieri to announce the manager in his press conference, but why would he say it's not going to be Gasperini and it's not going to be one of the managers that you've already named? So, again, I am very confused. I'm very confused on who it could be. I am very confused on what... No, I'm not confused on the what. Because I think he's made it clear that it's not going to be a massive name. Like, not a massive name. What I'm trying to say here is, I think in this press conference, I listened to this press conference from minute 1 to minute 20. And if I describe Ranieri in this press conference, I describe a manager who wants to spill the tea. He can't, of course, announce anything official, but we've seen Ranieri today giving us quite a lot of hints. Based on one thing that he said, which if you followed the press conference, well, that's what I'm here to do. To support you in case you didn't understand the press conference because it's in Italian and everything. One of the things that not a lot of people are considering when rethinking about the name that it would be, Ranieri today... before saying that it's not going to be Gasperini, it's towards the start of the press conference, he said that initially, at the start, this manager could not be an enthusiastic name for the fans. Okay, so he said, to even describe it in simpler terms, I mean, if you're Italian, you know this, because you've understood this. Ranieri today said that the name that they've considered, and as far as I'm aware, coming from this press conference, they've picked the name. They've picked the name, and I wouldn't be surprised if the contract was already signed. They know the name. Because Ranieri also said the president will announce it when he's ready to announce it. So, in my opinion, they've done it. They've sealed it. Of course, we don't know who it is. He said that at the start... It could be a name that won't get the fans massively going, but that it will take time. So initially when he said this, I was like, right, it's Gasperini. Because he said this before. He said this before announcing that it's not Gasperini. So I was like, when I hear Ranieri say this, I'm like, it's Gasperini. Because the fans don't like him. He's confirming it. But then, of course, 20 minutes into the press conference, he denies the Gasperini rumors. It's a game. It's a puzzle. It's a puzzle to crack. It's a code to crack. If I think of names that haven't really been mentioned from the newspaper articles that could happen, I have one name that in fact, as of today, 27th of March, of course, my opinion will change. I'm not saying that this is my definite answer, but it's a situation that will develop day by day. If the 25th of March, 2 days ago, I'd have said Gasperini, now the tables have turned, a name that hasn't been considered, a name that really hasn't been spoken much, to start a project who's got a good relationship with Ranieri, I get Pioli in my mind. It does not excite me at all. I'll be honest with you. I am not a fan of Pioli. I've said it many times. I think Pioli is an average manager who won the league that season with a lot of luck. Don't get me wrong. Milan was a great team back then, but you know, they weren't that dominant of a team like Napoli were the year after when they won it, or when Inter won it last season. So I don't know. Pioli could be a name. I wouldn't exclude Pioli because it hasn't really been mentioned. He's Italian. He knows Ranieri well. But then again, he's under contract in Saudi Arabia, but then you can break contract. So Pioli, I think, is somebody to consider based on what Ranieri said today. Other managers, this is where you have me lost, because if it is true that... If it is true that it's not one of the names that has already been mentioned, then I am worried, because you don't have many names left that haven't been mentioned. We've been linked with about 30 different names. So if it is actually true that it's not one of these 30 names, maybe not 30, then I genuinely don't know who it could be. I genuinely don't. I don't know who it could be. And I'm scared, because it's a decision that we cannot get wrong this summer, which is why I'm scared with the potential Pioli, because I don't think Pioli is the one. Now again, it's very hard to satisfy me, and it's very hard to satisfy us Roma fans, but it can be better than Pioli. I know that most probably we won't be playing the Champions League. I know that we've got financial problems. I know that we're not in a position to appoint the best of the best, but we can do better than Pioli. And one of them is Gasperini. You know, if I need to get Pioli just because the board is scared to appoint Gasperini because they're scared the fans will revolt, then that's not a good move at all. So again, if we're excluding Gasperini to then appoint Pioli, then I'm not satisfied at all. I have to be honest with you. I'll criticize you because I'd expected way more. Other names that haven't been... What I think I have a theory. The thing which contradicts this theory is the fact that this name has already been mentioned. But then again, you date back to the mind games that Ranieri could be playing, and the fact that I wouldn't completely exclude the fact that it's not one of the names that we've already been linked with. It could be one of them. But he's not making it obvious. A manager which would make sense would be Fabregas. Why do I say this? I say this because remember that Bilbao game? Remember after that Bilbao game, Ranieri gave his phone number on a piece of paper to Valverde, Bilbao's manager. And in the press conference, Ranieri went, of course, everybody started questioning if Valverde was going to become our manager. And Ranieri said, I gave Valverde my phone number because I want to hear from him. I want to contact him because he has a good taste and a good scouting department when it comes to scouting Spanish talents. So then I'm like, if that scenario happened, and then you appoint a Spanish manager like Fabregas, things start connecting together. But Fabregas has already been mentioned, so basing on what Ranieri said today, it won't even be Fabregas. Names that haven't been mentioned completely out of the bloom are Conte, but Conte won't. I mean, Conte would be ideal. And I agree. Conte, in my opinion, it's not confirmed that he is going to stay at Napoli. Conte could be an option, but Conte has said in the past how one of his objectives, is to manage Roma, but I don't think he'll be that big of a manager. Also because if Ranieri said that at the start, the fans won't massively won't massively enthusiastically support him, then it wouldn't be Conte. But again, this is very hard. Cracking this code is complicated because, of course, it comes in the sociology and the psychology behind Ranieri. Is he saying the truth? Does he mean these things? Do they already have a manager locked up? If they already have a manager locked up, which in my opinion is the case, then it can't be Conte, because Conte can't possibly sign a contract in the middle of a title race, not even knowing if he'll stay next season. Another manager that we've not been linked with, but is not an Italian manager, which would be a great manager, but it's not going to happen. These again are all my guesses. Unai Emery, but it won't happen. It's so hard. It's very hard. I don't know. I guess it's fun. I guess it's fun like this because it keeps us with the suspense. But I kind of want to know. I'm going insane. I kind of want to know who this guy is, and it triggers me that Ranieri knows who it is, and all of us don't. I have to be honest with you. If it is true that it's not one of the names that we've already been linked with, then I'll give credit to them because it's not easy to keep your name so locked up when you're in a team that literally has mainstream media and media outlets speak about you 24/7, with the journalists kind of assaulting you to get questions from you. So if it is true that it's not a name that we've been linked with, then GG, like a good game, because you're really like that's some high level detective skills, keeping a name hidden out of a list of about 25 different managers that have been linked with us. And this is something that the Fredkins, despite their lack of football knowledge, I'll give credit to them on this. They are very good at keeping things hidden. That Mourinho example is, they're very good at surprising us, but I'm not convinced we will see a surprise this summer. Because surprise this summer means Jurgen Klopp. Surprise this summer means Carlo Ancelotti. Surprise this summer means Pep Guardiola. These managers are not going to come. Klopp is already under a Red Bull contract. Pep will stay at City at least another season, in my opinion. Carlo won't come because he's already been linked with us, and he won't come to Rome. He won't. I know that he's a Roma legend, but he won't come to Rome. Why would he leave Real Madrid? I don't get it. Why would he leave Real Madrid before his contract expires? And apparently Fabrizio Romano has said that Brazil are back on him, so it won't be Ancelotti. People say Mourinho. I thought about this as well, but I'm like, again, it won't. I would love it. You know me, it would be a dream to get Mourinho back. But number one, why would they do it? Like, I understand that now they have Ranieri, but why would they get him back? Like, it would be, I'm not going to call it a mistake because I would love Mourinho to be back, but it would be another lack of, I don't know how you say, lack of programming. Why would you sack a manager 2 years ago and get him back 2 years after? So no, I don't think it is going to be Mourinho either. I don't know who it is, genuinely. As of today, if I had to bet my hand on somebody, it would be Pioli. But again, things change, you see. Maybe next press conference we'll get more hints and this gets completely thrown away. As far as I'm aware, coming out of today's press conference, it won't be Gasperini. He's mentioned that it's not a manager that we've already been linked with. We don't know if that's the truth. In my opinion, it's already been sealed because Ranieri said the president will announce it whenever he wants, whenever he feels like it. Which, again, suggests to me that they already know who it is and that they're waiting for the perfect moment to announce it. I don't know. It's tough. It's very tough. It's a... They should create an escape room about this. Who is the new manager going to be? Because they'll get a great escape room attraction done at Disneyland or Universal Studios about this. It will get so many people involved. In fact, you know what? We should start a series, a weekly series, until it gets announced. We should do a weekly video of adding hints and coming up with weekly predictions of who it will be. My prediction for this week, it was Gasperini at the start of the week. Now it's Pioli, which, I'll say it again, does not excite me one bit. One bit. Pioli does not excite me one bit. Cesc Fabregas would be good if Paz comes with him. Nico Paz. We've been linked with Nico Paz today as well. Not going to happen. It's the oldest trick in the book. Of course, it's going to be one of those names. Well, if it is going to be one of these names, I hope it's not Montella. Because appointing Montella, in my opinion, if you appoint Montella, you deserve to get slapped in your face. And I'm saying this with as much honesty as I have. If you appoint Montella, you deserve to literally place your head like this and get slapped. Get slapped multiple times. Out of the list of names that we've been linked with, now that Gasperini won't happen, I'd say Allegri, which I would be a fan of. I'd be a very big fan of Allegri. But I would not be that convinced that it is going to be one of these names. Again, I agree with you. It's an old trick to say this, to mind games, to not give you a clue. And I agree with you. I wouldn't exclude the fact that it is one of these names. But why would he lie? It's not a good impression to lie. He could have easily avoided the question. He could have easily avoided saying these things. Now again, he can lie. Of course he can do whatever he wants. But if you lie in press conferences, it means that the majority of the press conferences that you have were going to be lies. So if you lie in one of the most important press conferences in a season, which is the kind of the manager hunt press conference, then you lack credibility. You're telling me that you're somebody who lies. So a lot of the things that you told me in various press conferences, I'm supposed to think that were lies. Again, I'm not attacking Ranieri if he is lying. These are part of mind games. These are part of mind games. I agree. I say it again, I wouldn't exclude the fact that it's not one of these names. But if it is a lie, it's not a good impression. It's not a good impression of a lie. It's more of a trick than a lie, yes. But it's not a good impression to have a manager who goes live in a press conference, which is effectively speaking to the fans, and he lies. Like, it means that, I don't know, but I agree with you. I agree and disagree with that point. Pioli has not been mentioned and fits the criteria of having an experienced senior coach, says Lorenzo. It could be him, I agree. De Rossi, it won't be De Rossi. It won't be De Rossi. How many players do you think Roma will sign this summer after Ranieri said that the budget will be tight for the first two transfer windows? It depends on what we get. Depends what kind of European trophy we get. A lot of it depends on that. So we'll answer that question. Tenag, Motta or Garcia? Well, the first and the third, no. I still think our manager is going to be Italian. That's something that my opinion doesn't change on that. I still think it is going to be Italian because I think Ranieri is competent enough to understand that we are in need of an Italian manager. And there's a statistic that IFTV published literally 2 days ago, which said that 89% of teams who win the Serie A have got Italian managers. It would be pointless to appoint a foreign manager as of now in the process of rebuilding. Oh, you know another good name? You know another name that I forgot? De Zerbi. because De Zerbi hasn't really been spoken about. He's been thrown in a few articles, but there have never really been rumors, like strong rumors about De Zerbi. De Zerbi could be another one. I wouldn't mind it. I'd rather De Zerbi over Pioli every day of the week. Because with De Zerbi you can start something. With Pioli you can, but I mean De Zerbi excites me more. So yeah, De Zerbi I wouldn't exclude either. But then again, is he gonna leave? I genuinely don't know. It's so hard. It's so hard to tell. Spalletti will never manage Roma again. Spalletti won't come. Spalletti's at Italy. He won't. Spalletti's not gonna come, mate. Allegri sucks, man. He couldn't win when other Serie A teams finally raised their quality. He plays terrible calcio and is not good in Europe. He would be terrible. Too old and outdated for a project. Well, that he's too old and outdated for a project, I could agree. But everything that you said before that, I completely disagree. We're still ask Juventus fans how much they regret having sacked Allegri for Thiago Motta. There's this need of fans, and I understand this. I'm not necessarily criticizing this. It's modern football. We're in 2025. I understand the need of playing better football. I fully understand this. There needs to be football evolves, tactics evolve, formations evolve, players evolve, positions evolve. So I agree that there needs to be an element of evolution. If we stick in the past, other teams are going to evolve. I agree on that side. But I don't agree with this obsession of getting a manager to start a long-term modern football, great tactician manager. I don't agree with that. Because, number one, this is another thing that I've already said. How many people here would rather want somebody who plays great football but wins nothing, but a manager who's got more outdated tactics but is a winning mentality coach? Which is why when people attack Jose Mourinho, I still see, after almost 1 year, more than 1 year that he's been sacked, I still see people who go, Mourinho was the problem at Roma. Mourinho, thank God they sacked Mourinho. Mourinho was the problem at Roma. I was told by that majority of fans that wanted Mourinho out, that things would have improved without Mourinho. I saw how things improved, my friends. I saw how things improved. I understand, not the need, because it's not a need. I understand this idea, this obsession that some fans have of moving with football. And I do kind of agree with it. But I don't agree one bit with people who go that they'd rather have a great tactician as manager, but somebody who wins gobshite, than an Allegri or Mourinho who don't play that well, but can give you trophies. That's something that I'll never agree on, and will never share opinions with somebody who says that, because I think that is one of the biggest myths of football, of modern football. This obsession of great tactics, but winning actually nothing. So, Allegri, again, this is my own strict opinion. Everybody here can have their own entitled opinion, of course. Allegri would be a great name in my opinion, because you need somebody who wins, who gives that winning mentality to these players, like Mourinho did. Okay, I don't want somebody who comes in, great games that end 4-3, 3-2, we score many goals, but then we win nothing. What am I supposed to do? Clap because you played well, okay? But that's not why I'm here. My existence as a football fan in general, as a Roma fan in this case, my objective as a Roma fan is not to clap, be satisfied after a football game. Of course, if that comes with winning trophies, I'm like, GG. But my primary objective is not sitting at the stage, sitting on my seat, seeing great tiki-taka moves, seeing great games, but then we don't win. I don't want that. I'd rather the opposite. I would much rather we win scrappy wins, we play not opened up, but aim at winning something. Simeone won't come. Simeone is he won't leave Atletico, and he's a Lazio legend, so he'll never come to Rome. And again, to say that Allegri won nothing, I know that Juventus was the Juventus of golden times, but Allegri won league titles after league titles. He won Coppa Italias after Coppa Italias. He brought Juventus in, I believe, 2 Champions League finals when he was manager, or one for sure. I'm not sure if that Berlin 2015 was Conte or Allegri, but I do think it was Allegri. So to say that Allegri doesn't win is criminal. Now that doesn't mean that he'll win in Rome, but in general, to say that Allegri doesn't win is criminal. Like, it's criminal because it's not true. Right. I mean, let's see how the situation evolves. As of now, my guesses are 2. Pioli or De Zerbi. As of today, it's this, and I confirm my prediction. Hit the like, subscribe. I'll catch you tomorrow with match preview. Lecce match preview. We're back going. Very important game. 9 finals to go. Hit the like, 100 likes, and we'll slowly crack the code together of who the Roma's next manager will be. Let me know who you think it will be down below, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a good one. Simo out.